Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly Q&A. Right now, we're just getting started, so we're waiting for a few more people to come in. But if you do run into if you've been here before, you already know how it kind of works. If you have any questions, feel free to hit that react button at the very bottom of the screen. Once you hit that react button, just raise your hand, and then we'll just go in the order that we saw. First hands raised, we'll get the first questions asked. Still got a few more people coming in. All right, looks like we have a question. Looks like Brandy raised her hand, so I'm gonna just go ahead and
All right, my question is on the in the office part, to make sure the drawers are being tallied correctly. Is there an area where I can put in what the amount of cash they so the system so if I'm doing it or somebody else is doing the drawers, we know where their difference is.
you mean
The kind of balance the drawers. Because I know that I've seen in there where it shows you how much cash you're supposed to take it in, and you know what I mean. Is there an area where I can enter in and to keep track so I know, you know what I mean? Because sometimes the drawers are just, and it's only by a few dollars, but if I'm doing it today and somebody else is doing it tomorrow, they may not know the reason why the drawer is short. You know what I mean?
I gotcha. I got you like a note or something that says why the drawer was short.
And
Um,
maybe not necessarily a note, like us. I know some programs have like a back office where you're supposed to enter in for each drawer each day the amount of cash that you received. And I haven't came across this with this program. And maybe I'm not looking in the right area.
and are you guys opening up the cash box every morning and closing it every night?
Yes.
Mm, I'm not 100% sure I know what you mean, what you're looking for.
Uh, I mean,
Hmm.
Hey, Brandy.
yeah.
Hey, this is Mike. So when you open the drawer, Smart requires you to enter the amount of cash in the drawer to open. And then when you
Yes.
close it, it requires the same thing. So you recount it at the end of the shift, and then it should print out the Z report that
Yeah.
will
And
tell
it's,
you like the overshort. What are you looking for that's not part of that process?
so like, um, when I get the envelope with the cash in it, so like, when I was going back through the Z reports a few days ago, I realized one of the drawers were, and it was just $7. But so if I wasn't the one that, and I figured it out, but if I wasn't the one that was doing it on a daily basis, that person may not understand or like be questioning why is the drawer short or over kind of situation. Uh, because sometimes that happens because we get a big bill and they just deposit the big bill, and so then it makes the drawer short
Yeah.
for the next day.
Right.
And so if we would enter in, you know what I mean, like you know what I mean, like it would be
So do you not set the drawer to the same level for each new shift?
well, so we just count it first thing in the morning and then it gets closed so that everybody runs off the same drawer.
Okay.
Uh is the some you know what I mean, but it's only generally two people handling that drawers because there's generally just two shifts throughout the
Yeah.
day. And so I know, you know what I mean, it's obviously it's only, you know what I mean, if you know what I mean, it's not that I think money's coming up missing. It's more of a just a balance thing. Or that's what
I
I'm
got
used
it.
to, you know,
I
where
gotcha.
you're confirming that the cash that was received or was printed out was the correct, I guess.
Got it. Yeah, so Salvador actually made a comment in the channel and he said use petty cash. So I for the scenario that you're talking about, let's say you took a bill in and you kept like change or whatever it was, right? There's a function if you click back into the cash box while it's open called
Uh,
petty cash to tell them that there's an additional $7 or whatever it is, right? And you can leave a note on that same petty cash to let them know where it came from. So that way
uh,
it'll show them why it was over or why it was short. So you can do a withdrawal or you can do like a petty cash and you can track that within the cash box module.
okay.
I can
Yeah.
probably
I mean, I've used that function in the past. I was just looking for it. It'd be more like a back office management where you would tally the drawers and say pretty much whether they're balanced or it's correct or incorrect kind of situation.
Got it. Yeah, we don't have anything in Smart that tracks whether or not that day specifically was on balance or off balance, right? It's just something that you would have to probably do on your own.
Okay. All right. I mean, I just wanted to kind of know that. I mean, because for right now, I'm doing it. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing it in the future, if somebody else is going to do it. Kind of situation.
Yeah, just for record keeping, they could easily just make like a quick Excel sheet with the date and just a yes or no for balance and not balance, and it probably will help them track it a lot better.
Yeah, I guess that's what it was. I was kind of looking
Yeah,
for an Excel where you just enter in the amounts kind of situation.
yeah, Smart won't do it, but you can definitely export the data and put it into your own Excel sheet.
Okay, I'll have to look into that. This it's just more for more my personal, just like a peace of mind, and where I don't have to keep that information in my head. You know what I mean? I can just go look at, you know what I mean?
And then
Or
easy to look up. Yep.
yeah. And that's all I had.
Awesome. Sounds good. All right. Looks like Christy has a question.
Hello,
Hey, Christy, how's it going?
it's going good.
Hey.
So I have this is maybe some y'all have a suggestion or some other people can tell me what they've done in this situation. So we have static routes basically, Monday route, a Tuesday route, a Thursday route, a Friday route. I have one customer who we go to on Mondays, but we have a special agreement with her that we will do her things more than once a week, right? So pick up from her house on the Monday route Monday morning. And then on Thursday, I need to deliver the clothes to her restaurant at another location on the Thursday route. So, and because you can't have customer on two separate routes, now what I have done is I made like a dummy account for that customer where it has the delivery address for the Thursday route with a note, find the clothes from the Monday route to deliver on the Thursday route. But, obviously because of, you see how what I did and then that so that like the clothes from Monday would show up on Thursday, even though Monday route's only one day.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Far as so basically you have one customer, two addresses, and then you have a possibility of two different delivery days, right? So you pick it up on Monday and you usually would deliver it back on Monday, but in this case, you might deliver it back on Thursday at a different address. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
Got it. I don't have a great way to handle that. I know you can use probably you what would probably end up happening is you'll create the order so you'll pick it up and then you'll create the order on the second account that's marked for Thursdays. And then I mean, by default, if it's a will call customer, it should auto schedule the stop and you don't have to worry about it. And then at least on the Monday account, if she has a cell phone number and she's getting the text messages for Mondays, that she can either reply to the messages. But there's no real good way to handle that in Smart for like cross um, addresses plus cross days or cross routes. Unless Mike, you have anything?
I do, and it's kind of a weird one. What you can do is we can make use of the master and sub route functionality, but we have to kind of
Yeah, I thought about that, like my hotel kind of.
yeah. So what you would want to do is you need a master route, which is actually going to be the special service route just for that one customer, and they are going to be the only customer on that route. That route will run all the days of the normal route that you're supplementing, plus that one special day that this one customer gets for themselves. And then the sub route will just run the standard days that the existing route already runs. That will allow the driver to run both routes on the days that they're both on in the same manifest as though it's one single continuous route. And then it'll still let this one customer have that one special day. And it avoids you having to have a second account or use build route to create a special stop for the delivery or any of that stuff. So it maintains all the automation with the routes. You just have to be sure that you don't put any other customers on the master route. And you will
And
get one additional
how would I
agent
set
out of
up
it.
the master route? Like, what would the master route? I have to make a new route, you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. So I would make a new
Okay.
route and basically copy the settings of the existing route, but also add that one extra day that that one customer gets.
Okay. So it'd be like, all right, so this is a special route and it runs on Mondays and Thursdays. And you do that for the master account. And then I would have a sub account for the Monday route and then a sub account for the third route? Or
So
no?
it's, I just want to make sure we're clear. It's not, I'm not talking about sub accounts, I'm talking about sub
Okay.
routes, but it's only one.
Okay.
So basically
Okay.
you're going to take the route that you already have and it's going to
Right.
become a sub route of a new route. And the only difference between that route and the new route is the new route has this one extra day for this one special customer.
Right. And
So
then when
it,
I go to that, when I go to her account, I'm going to select that master route as her regular route service. Correct?
for her, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then the things would show up on the manifest on those days,
hmm
in case
Yeah,
there's somebody running the route and they don't understand that account, then it'll just kind of, they'll be there, the orders.
yeah, it'll appear as though it's one route that magically did what you wanted it to do. Um,
Okay.
and then on
Mm.
that one off day on Wednesday, it'll just only ever have that one stop.
All right. I may give that a try. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know if you run into any issues too. So, if
Okay.
anything is weird about the configuration or you have further questions, just contact support. Feel free to ask for me. I'll help you out.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. And we had a couple of people join since then. So again, if you guys are just joining, if you do have any questions, feel free to hit the reacts or reactions button at the bottom of the screen and raise your hand. And this is no theme, so feel free to ask any questions that you have, or if you've noticed anything throughout the week, just let us know. And I do see Enrique's hand raised. And I'm gonna respond to you in just 1 second. There looks like there was a comment by Daria in the channel or the chat about the new delivery app, and then I do want to give you guys a little bit more info and an update about that. So some of you or a few of you have probably been experiencing some issues with the new delivery app, probably the white screen issue and kind of freezing. So with that, there's been a lot of like back and forth investigating, kind of figuring out what's the cause of that white screen because it seems to have been different in a lot of scenarios. The development team just narrowed it down, from what I understood this morning. So they're working on a fix and they've been actively working on that between today and tomorrow. So there should be something rolling out pretty soon that's going to give you guys a better update for the app. So just hang on with us, hang tight. And then yeah, our team is working on it, so just bear with us for a little bit. And Enrique, did you still have a question?
Hey, Chris.
Hey Enrique, how's it going?
It's going well. It's not necessarily a question. It's just more of an understanding. I'm leading a lot more into. It's just a matter of a couple weeks or months till we get smart marketing because I definitely want to get it. We don't have it. We're not part of it. But the more I look into it, I see a lot of value into it. I want to have an understanding of because I don't want all the things that you guys have, right? I just want certain specific things where I'm like, this is what I'm looking for, and what I'm mainly looking for is for SEO. And how does geofencing work? And like, if we, I, because what essentially what I'm asking is more help to get our second location known. And how would you guys do anything about that if we decided to go with your marketing aside from because everything that we're doing is from house, or getting a couple signs, word of mouth, going out there, putting a couple things like on the street, for customers to see around this neighborhood. But what I really, really want is to grow our location for customers to know where we are. But a lot of the route, I want to grow a route here where we're based. How does that work? Does like geofencing help with that? Do you know kind of where I'm getting at?
So I'm gonna let Denise answer most of the marketing questions, but I am gonna give you some input about how geofencing works. So when you start using geofences, it basically puts customers in a on a route based off of their zip, off their location or off that wall that you put up, right? So for example, if those customers are like outside of the wall and you keep getting requests outside of the wall, you can expand your geofence to open up to a different range of people, right?
Right,
And
right,
then
right.
second part of that is maybe that area that you're putting your new geofence in for your new location that has the least amount of people. Maybe they didn't think they had the option for it, right? So maybe when they go on now and they get placed on a route that's automatic and they don't have to go through so many hoops like calling the store and confirming their address and going through like this long drawn out process, it might increase your chances of new customers joining the route. So that's just from a geo fencing perspective. Now, as far as marketing and how our marketing handles it, I'm gonna leave that to Denise to answer because I'm gonna let her go into more details about that.
Hi, Enrique.
Hi, Denise.
So I'll try to make this as short as possible.
Of course, of
So
course.
we offer some marketing that's inside our POS, which is going to help you. One product is specifically to help raise revenue from your current customers, which is our trigger-based marketing. So they're already in your system and you just want more revenue from them. So that's that one. Our reviews product is will help you with building reviews for that second location. So
Mhm.
did you say this is a new location? Do you already
Yeah,
have
so
customers there?
so we already have customers here, and what I essentially want is just to get more customers, so customer acquisition. That's what I'm looking for,
Okay.
rather than social media or because what I'm thinking about, and it's just a couple of weeks, because it's just getting that budget and being like, okay, because we don't want to do it just a one time, 1 month. We just want to like do it over and over. What I'm thinking of, and I don't want to take everybody's time here. What I'm thinking of is getting smart to just kind of update our website, just because I did see the websites that you guys have built. I like that. I just want to have a little bit of our website get updated. And then on top of that, just how can you guys help us in terms of marketing, right? But for new customers,
Yeah.
and because I looked up geofencing and it was like, I had no idea about it, but it seems very quite complex, but very easy to understand. And I was just like, oh, well, Smart already has that. They already have that in there. I'm like,
Okay.
how did they?
So there's geofencing inside Smart, which is how you build your routes in certain areas. Outside of Smart, you would use geofencing for your advertising to sort of target a certain location on Google or Facebook, wherever you're trying to, whichever platform you're trying to use. So that was the one where I said, we do have a beta product that we're doing some Google Performance Max campaigns. You could probably sign up for that now, and you would just tell the person, I'm just looking for a specific location, certain area, and we could get you on the campaign and we could manage it for you. I will say that without reviews for that other location, because people are going to go to Google and look you up to see if you're worth using. So you do, if you don't already have reviews for that
We
location,
do, we do, we do, we do.
okay, you would want to use our reviews product, which would automatically ask those customers of that location to write reviews and just build that up. Now, on the website side of things, we're not a web sort of editor. You would actually have us build a website for you, and we would, do all the SEO work inside that website as we're building it for you. So if you already had a web designer make you a website, or if you made it yourself, you would do that. We only do like kind of brand new because we use a certain proprietary platform to design our websites.
So you
So
guys wouldn't be able to help me at all, kind of just update that website. It already works. It's not like I need another
yeah,
website. It's not, it already works. It
yeah.
works.
Well, it
So you
may
guys
be
would,
something that, when you talk to our ad staff, they would probably talk with you about your website anyway. So, I don't think they necessarily redesign or redo anything for you, but they would definitely talk to you about your website and how to improve it for SEO, if that
okay.
makes sense. Yeah,
No,
so I can
it
just
makes
set
sense.
you up with a call with someone in, it wouldn't be me necessarily, that we have someone who's very specifically running our ad product. So I'd have you
Mhm.
talk with them and you could find out if this would work for you.
No, yeah, we're definitely interested. The more as time goes on, I see a
Yeah.
lot of value in it, and I've been talking to the person that is the final decision maker, and I'm like, it's worth it. Rather to go to another agency and
Yeah.
kind of get, they have all our data, it's
Sure.
already in there. So for
Sure.
me, it makes sense to do it this
Sure.
route than somewhere
Okay, I'll
else.
tell them you're ready to talk now. I can actually have someone reach out because I grabbed your email the last time. So,
Perfect, perfect.
yeah. Hopefully, did I answer your questions?
Yeah, you did. I just have a lot of curiosity, just because it's just understanding of because I don't want to take people's time, but word of mouth works, going out there works, but I'm starting to realizing a lot of advertisements, whether it's social media, Facebook, wherever they're there. So I just want to do that more, just because I see some value in it. So then I just need more help, and I feel like you guys are the guys. I feel like you guys are the
Okay,
pros. So
sure. Sounds good. I'll have someone reach out.
thank you, Denise.
Awesome. And let's see. And this is an open chat. This is no theme required, so any questions are welcome. So feel free to raise your hand and ask anything you like. Looks like Tony has a question or a comment.
Hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
Tony.
Good to see you again.
Like always, what's going on?
Um, so I have a question because one of the things that I run into is I have to constantly check for undetailed orders. Is there a way to have within a certain time frame to send a message to the store, have it pop up in their messages that, hey, you have undetailed orders? I know that they can look at a report, but you have to count on them actually going in and looking at the report.
So there's no message that will go out for undetailed orders.
Okay.
Typically, what happens with the undetailed orders, if there is a setting that automatically deletes them if they're sitting too
Yeah,
long.
if they go for so long,
Yeah,
they'll just
exactly.
delete. But like most of the time when I catch them, it's ones that they just forgot to close or
I
like that.
gotcha.
So then I have to go through and then call them up. And if it was the person that wasn't there, in the afternoon, let's say, and I'm calling the next morning saying, hey, you got an undetailed order from yesterday. I don't want to close it just in case the person changed their mind.
Yeah,
You
so
know what I mean?
they don't get any notifications about stuff like that, but yeah, I see what you mean. I see exactly what you mean. So maybe it probably should be something we can request it.
Okay, that'll work.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Of course.
I know we asked this in our end of meeting poll, but you guys are welcome to let us know if there are specific parts of Smart that you want to learn more about. We could maybe put together a little kind of set of tips or set of, how-tos, some features. So yeah, feel free to post in the chat if there's like specific topics that you're really wanting to get more information about in Smart. Hey, Enrique, I'm seeing your question about getting a new customer through Smart. Smart's not really set up as like a customer acquisition software. It's customer management and all of your operations, things like that. We don't really go out and look for customers for you. There are ways you can kind of tag why new customers are coming in. We really do want people to use as much as possible the like referral source so you can track where you're having the most success. So if you start tracking how you get new customers, either you ask them directly when they sign up at the POS. You can also add in, I think in the customer app, you can get referral source. Is that something that you can add as a question? So there's ways that you can actually force people to answer that question if you really want to. That's going to be a good set of data just to sort of see what's working. But otherwise, yeah, you're really going to be using sort of outside sources and platforms, any sort of print or digital advertising, postcards, digital ads, things like that. Yeah. So that's really the best answer.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you were at the meeting last week, Amy, but they did cover some assembly questions last week, but definitely we can definitely do like a an assembly session to go over different types of like assembly styles, especially when you're using multiple assembly bays. That's definitely an option. If you have anything specific that you want to work on, you can also feel free to do like a one-on-one with like myself or Mike, and then we can kind of go over some like solutions and different ways to kind of figure things out. And to answer your question, Steve, the I'm not sure about in the cleaners, about how everyone's training and how that's going for everyone else. But what I always recommend when you're training like new staff on Smart, I tell you to let them go through the guides and use those guides in the bottom left-hand side of the screen. That question mark will walk them through virtually anything, and it can walk them through a live customer. Like customer walks in, I click on how to create an order. It shows me how to create an order while the customer is in my face on screen using real customer information, right? And they can do that on the fly. So that's one way to do it. Another way is just kind of make sure they're shadowing and kind of seeing what's going on. And it's really intuitive. Once you get people to figure out where the buttons are, they kind of take off, and then they might have like a lot of general questions, but for the most part, they'll be able to find and navigate. Navigation is the most important part of the training process if you're training new staff on Smart. Um, just circling back to the assembly, assembly is super different across the board with a lot of cleaners. So if you do have like specific questions to your cleaners or like best practices, definitely feel free to compile that list and either send it in or feel free to go ahead and schedule something with one of us and we can go over that stuff with you guys. And then it looks like Amy has a question. I'm just gonna ask you to unmute.
Okay, so I was kind of generic, but a specific example would be I have a assembly station down in wedding gowns, and several times throughout the day, say you have a three-piece wedding gown order, a gown, a veil, shoes. And as they're assembling, since I'm not down there, um, maybe two or three times a day, it'll break it down to like an A, B, and C ticket. So it prints them out three tickets, but I don't know what is what's going on to cause that. So I always just tell them like I'll have to go down and reset the order and we'll scan them all and it prints it out in one ticket. But what makes it what are we doing that breaks it down into those three tickets that I could fix
Oh.
down there?
Okay, so basically what's probably happening is in your instance or in your site, there's like ticket splitting rules, right? And there's a threshold amount for size and kind of what goes with what. When you have a wedding gown or a wedding dress, it automatically puts it on its own ticket because it thinks it's too large to go with anything else, right? So it doesn't expect it to be bagged with anything else, which is why it gives different tickets to the other items. So if, for example, you wanted all three of those items to be bagged together or placed together, then we would simply either change the rack sizing of the item types, or we would change the split configuration so that way they can all split together. But we can just, it's a setting, you can change it within the instance.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, so if you do need help with it, just let us know. Put in a ticket, and then someone we can help you with that. It doesn't take too much time. The only thing about it is it won't affect current orders. It will only affect the new orders coming in. So if you've already made orders, those will still get split, but right after the change, everything new incoming won't.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
No problem. So it looks like Christy had a question about compatibility for Windows 10. So I do know Windows 10 is not going to be supported um, later this year, or probably you know how that goes. It could be later this year, it could be early next year, but yeah, so I mean currently we still have, I mean we have stations being used on up to Windows 7 right now. So I mean we're still going to work um on our end to keep us up and running on all operating platforms as long as possible. So I don't foresee that being a problem anytime soon.
And I just want to add to that, if you have older computers that aren't working well with Windows 11, that's not going to be like related to Smart. It's just going to be hardware compatibility with Windows 11. Those computers will be, I can't say they definitely will, but they'd be more likely to handle Windows 10 than Windows 11. Um, and when support ends for Windows 10, all that really means is that Microsoft is going to stop updating it, except for crucial security updates. They're going to stop adding features, stop optimizing it, and so forth. It will still work, and it's not a deadline that's generally going to affect most people in any sort of noticeable way. So I wouldn't be too concerned about it. But with those older computers, you may be able to get them working by actually putting a older or more lightweight operating system on them.
All right, there's no more questions. So, thanks everyone for showing up, and then hopefully we'll see everyone again next week, and then possibly with an exception to do probably an assembly or production thing. Thank you. And if you guys do have any questions and you need to reach us, just feel free to put in a support ticket online.